Balancing many things at the same time is difficult. We have talked about balancing work and life responsibilities for many years. Many people have found it challenging to do so. Why are we talking about balancing our third dimension lives with our high dimensional lives? Welcome everyone. Martina and Charles are here to discuss the joyful opportunity and the blissful experience of integrating our third dimension and higher dimensional lives into one as Earth vibrates in the third through the fifth and to the higher dimensions. Let's start with definitions. Martina, what are these dimensions that we can reach from now that we are going to get accustomed to in our third dimension life?
All right, let's start with the big picture. We are in the third dimension. That's dense physical, and that's the dimension where our five senses make sense of what reality is and feed our brain with information. Then we have a more rarefied physical dimension, that's the fourth. And in that fourth dimension, actually 70% of the human population of this universe incarnates. There's only 20% who are in the third dimension. Mm-hmm. And that is where we have our glimpses, where we see something, flying by and you say, there's a dragon in the sky. It's also the home of nature spirits and the devas. That's where they are here on Earth for us, mainly. Okay. Then we have the fifth dimension, the astral dimension, where this has a lot to do with emotions. It's actually the astral plane is a gateway to higher dimensions. And we humans have clocked that with our own wishes. So this is full of the human wish list, from a new car, a new house, a new life partner, being wealthy, blah, blah, blah. All of that, or ordering a parking space ahead of time somewhere. So this space has been clocked and basically prevented us from going into higher dimensions. And that's cleared out now because Earth has made that shift. Yes. In the six dimensions, we have two parts. We have the concrete and the abstract mental plane. The concrete mental plane is everyday logic, doing A first and then B and not otherwise. The abstract mental plane is to help us create new constructs, new visions, and how to get things done. The seventh is the intuitive plane, knowing the truth and knowing how things work without being told how that is. You just know. In the eighth dimension, for most here on Earth, that's the home of our soul. And then up until the 12th dimension now, where we have Shambhala and now the Shambhala Unity Council, which each of us is able to connect with and to communicate with.
So, Martina, before I ask you the next question, all these planes and dimensions are available to everyone now?
Yes.
True? Okay.
Yes.
Very well. So, I know the 3D construct is diminishing, and the fourth, the fifth dimension are coming into full prominence. So, tell us how soon this will be.
What I've learned is that the next 4 years, starting this year, we will see the constructs of the dark matrix of earthly organizations, ways things work, we see them crumble in front of our eyes. So we're going through very tough 4 years into which everything that is focused on the benefit of a few at the cost of many, we see crumble the abuse of Mother Earth, of nature, where we just, take things out. Someone gets a permission and all of a sudden is mining Earth.
Yeah.
Or is saying, okay, this part of the Amazon forest is mine, I'll cut it down and I make good money of it. All that will crumble, including the financial setup, which is abusive, speculative. Everything that is not serving the future of this planet and of everybody on the planet will crumble in the next 4 years. And then in the 5th year, so to speak, the dust will settle.
Wow, that is huge, Martina. So, what would the nature of things look like then? 4 or 5 years is not too far from now.
No. And that's why it's important that we start co-creating the new Earth now. We're not here to sit and wait until things crumble and blow up.
Yeah.
We have to build in parallel the new. So what will happen? If you look in our world, leadership is mainly self-centered and greedy.
Yeah.
Most things just benefit a few and the masses are left behind. That will turn around. And Brother AFRA is just an example and he will lead the way. That's why his book on leadership and governance is vital. We'll see a transitioning from mega cities and dominant countries that is reversed. So we're going to smaller communities, to self-reliability, to creating on a local level something that works. I've joked a few days ago and say we will go from the United Nations of Europe or the United Nations of the world to the United People of the world living in harmony with Mother Earth. So, and our citizenship, which is kind of, how many passports do you have and can fly around and maximize your not paying taxes, that will go from a nation-based citizenship to a cosmic citizenship as a being in sync and in unity with whole of creation. We are going from using resources in the 3rd dimension, for example, energy, where we currently either using fossil based energy or nuclear energy, to something that's called cold fusion. Our scientists haven't been able to figure it out, but the decent souls that have already evolved will be given the secret to cold fusion.
Yes.
There's so much more really to tell, but the main message is stay calm and composed, whatever is happening outside. Just stand up for the principles that Brother AFRA, other true leaders are advocating for. Yes. This is not one dominating the other. This is not one being the winner and the rest is outsmarted. This is taking care of everybody's needs.
Yes.
But let me ask you, what would a balanced life in dimension look like from SZOKWA's or Brother AFRA's point of view?
Yeah, our listeners know that we've heard from SZOKWA and also recently from Brother AFRA. They have the same general topic. They have looked at the way the 3rd dimension ended in 2024 and the lives of the people was completely unbalanced. And they're looking forward to a life where freedom and each person's worth is recognized. I'm happy to know that the Intergalactic Federation and our cosmic friends are going to provide us the help to eliminate poverty from Earth
Yeah.
and give every person full and equal right, and people will live in communities of their choice and be able to express the value they have brought to the earth. And these are all the things that SZOKWA talks about: self-love. And it's difficult for people to love themselves when they are in abject poverty or being herded like cattle and killed without reason. So the meanness and the aggressions that people show one to another will be a thing of the past. And I'm so happy to hear from you this morning that all this is going to start to happen within the next 4 to 5 years. What a beautiful thing. Villages, small communities, livable communities, not refuse dumps as they are right now, will be what we are co-creating with the new earth. So the myth that Africa, which is the wealthiest continent on earth, is poor when the resources are stolen to make everybody bright and shine, that will be stopped. And Africans will benefit from having clean environment and benefit of their own resources. The Divine Father and Cosmic Mother has pledged that no one should exploit Africa any longer. Everyone is invited, everyone is welcome if they come with goodwill and to help build the new Africa, which will be the example for the world. Because Africans have hearts, they have love, they cooperate if there is no institution for forcing them to compete. So these values that everyone on earth will benefit from: family, community, friends, unity, and oneness. So those are some of the things that SZOKWA and also now Brother AFRA continues to see for Africa in the next few years.
That's wonderful.
So Martina, do you have some examples of balancing third dimensional and the high dimensional lives?
Yeah, first of all, say from a dense physical perspective, accept that you are living as a being in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Now, my body is in the third dimension and I have to have my feet firmly on the ground. I have to pay my rent. I have to cook for myself. But then all the distractions of the third dimensional life, which is basically have fun outside of what you are doing to compensate for the stress you have working. So make sure that you shift either voluntarily or because your body says no more, let's get sick, into a contribution for the planet which feels right for you. Secondly is be the true version of yourself amongst family, friends, show who you really are. If they then don't love you anymore, well, they have never loved you
Before.
anyway, right? They have used you. You are used for some reason, but it is not out of love that they respect who you are.
No.
My experience is when I work in multiple dimensions on energy work with the Shambhala Unity Council, that happens usually during the night when I'm fast asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm utilized 24 hours a day, and sometimes I say jokingly when they come with new assignments, great, just extend the day and make it 36 hours then, and give me some more time to sleep.
Yeah. And do they laugh at you?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that you have to learn to juggle with. So far, we don't have enough people who have fully accepted their soul's mission. That means that the enormous workload is on those who have, because the job needs to get done. We are
Yes.
talking here about things that happened, that have been accomplished by Namas University team members, by students, by other light workers. And everybody say, yeah, you shouldn't work so hard. Great. I say, get your butt out of your chair and come helping us. Train yourself. Everybody's needed here.
Yeah, get out of your comfort zone, right? Like we said.
That's the point. And my experience is, in the beginning, people say, what are they busy with? And they might not respond at first, but they start to be curious. And most of all, they realize you get an awful lot of work done, but you don't call sick. You don't complain about what is going on. So all the habits that most people have doing their, so to speak, ordinary jobs, you don't have that. You simply don't. The biggest fun, actually, to me is that each day you learn something more what it means to be a cosmic global citizen.
Yeah.
And Charles, a year ago, we didn't know each other.
No.
We would have never thought that today we sit here and the SANAT Kumara said, you guys do a video podcast together, right?
Correct.
About a year ago, you didn't have a clue that another member of Namas University is from the same tribe as you are in Africa.
No, I did not.
And he didn't.
And he didn't, yes.
Or just the day before yesterday, two team members who have never been in contact before learned that on soul level, they are best buddies.
Wow.
So this is something that is precious.
Yes.
And you cannot get anywhere else save you open up for your own soul.
Definitely. And have a purpose.
And gradually you move away from, so to speak, third dimensional entertainment or numbing yourself, just getting away. If you look at the number of things offered, especially in the Western world, to keep you busy. Like in Roman times, you had the gladiators who were fighting to amuse the masses.
Right.
Now, what is that today? It's sports, right? It's entertainment here and entertainment there to keep yourself of your own essence.
Yeah.
So that if you cut down on interactions like that, superfluous, and I focus on interactions between just one or two persons. I never go to any big event.
Yeah.
But I make sure that the quality of the interactions I have is high level.
That is managing your energy field.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell a bit more about the role of freedom in integrating third and higher dimensional life for a person, for a community, and our new world, Charles?
Yes, Martina, you know, as everyone knows, the difficulties that the earth was put under by the dark forces. Everybody was enslaved in one form or the other, or chained or addicted to one form, as you just discussed, either entertainment or any other distraction of the soul. So we did not have the full opportunity to realize our full selves in all dimensions available to us. And on top of that, the light quotient, the light level on earth did not permit us to rise even above the fourth or fifth dimensions at some point. So now that all that has changed, we are going to begin to experience freedoms that we have never experienced before. And part of that freedom will be able to break with all things that restrict our free selves. Life is learning. We are here to experiment. and learn from our successes and our failures as well. And because of fear, because of religion, because of culture, traditions, and so many taboos, the souls of people were restricted severely, and fear was put on people of a non-existent hell that people will go if they were themselves and learn something, or if they restricted themselves so very well and obeyed all the rules and bowed to all the right places, they may go to a non-existent heaven or nirvana or some other form of promise, which all of it has turned out not to be true as we move into the fifth and higher dimensions of our freedom. So last time we did talk about a few freedoms about, can a soul be really free? In the family, like you said, some people are born just to take care of the family, and they have this over their head, and that's all they do. Husbands and wives enter into relationships, and it becomes a burden to carry one or the other. And many people are not free in many systems. So the energy that we have, the power of our souls, and the ability to live multiple lives in the same time, now time, allows us to explore and experiment and expand as we have. So what we are saying is for everyone to connect with their souls as the ultimate tool for their freedom. The only and the surest way to connect to the divine or the eternal source or God or whatever name you choose to call. Your freedom, your soul access to all your lives in different dimensions, and your connection to yourself, to your soul, to your fractal, and to the divine mother and the divine father and cosmic mother are the only sure tools that you have.
Yeah. I fully agree.
So, Martina, I would like for you to talk a little bit more about the intergalactic communication network that we have just been aligned with as Earth. Everyone needs to know this happy news.
Okay. Most who follow the lessons of Namas University already know that each planet is connected to the cosmic communication system. And that cosmic communication system was cut off during the fall of Atlantis. That was intentional. And the cosmic communication system is basically the nervous system of the whole universe that the creator used to communicate the up-to-date divine plan. It's a means of communication for all beings, and it's a means also to travel and to get together in larger groups to form opinions and do things together. And what has remained on Earth are 5 main stations, maybe 6, we'll see. They're primarily for the human population. Then we have 36 auxiliary stations, which serve 2 purposes. They are like spokes to the hubs of the main stations, but there are also places for healing, like the Acheron forest and cave that you find in Greece, or the Sea of Crete. And then we have 1,090 nature stations. So they are for all nature beings and for offers allies to come and go. This has been activated now. So there are 3 main stations active. There are 6 auxiliary stations active and 1,090 nature stations, all in service of the divine plan. That was a huge shift. Now, with recent integration of darkness into the light on Earth, something absolutely unexpected happened. Earth's purpose in our galaxy is the spiritual university planet. So basically, beings come here to learn to live in the 3rd to and through the 5th dimension simultaneously. We are supposed to be good hosts It is supposed to be a safe environment, and we learn from each other with other species. What happened now after this integration of the darkness into the light worked out well. And last year we had major portals, the 1111, 1212, 2412. A huge shift has already happened. So Earth is in the fifth dimension. And basically Earth radiated light, not just throughout the galaxy, but throughout the cosmos. And there is a group in the cosmos, in this universe, that is called the Intergalactic Confederation of Light. And because of what happened on Earth, they choose to place their headquarters next to Shambhala in the 12th dimension of Earth. And that has catapulted us, really catapulted us into the forefront of reality of the whole universe. So in the future, it's not only who lives in this galaxy is coming to Earth. Everybody wants to come.
Right.
And that means our abilities to live in these multiple dimensions make it much easier to handle all of this. And we can kind of set to a relaxed mode in the all that is crumbling here in the third dimension, because we know who's coming in to help us, to work together, to build something new. So this puts us out of the trouble zone. What it has as a consequence for those who say, yeah, I'll stay in the third, that's the game I know, they will move to a different reality. That will not be the dominant reality on Earth anymore. And many people who are fixated on that third dimension and try to focus on it solely will just leave the planet. So whatever happens, don't judge.
Yeah.
Invite for this vastness of reality to come, and learn to juggle these multiple dimensions as the complete new normal in your life.
That's wonderful. A blessing to earth, what we have all waited for and looked for, and it is here, even more glorious than we thought.
Well, basically, that's what we have to wrap our head around. We are all intentionally incarnated at this point in time to be part of this.
Yeah.
We couldn't wait to be here, to be part of this.
Yes. It's good to see it come to pass.
And you and I will have a guest, actually 2 guests next week to talk about this co-creating the new Earth in multiple dimensions. So Mother Mary and Katharina Adari will be our guests, talking about the co-creation that they too do for the benefit of all of us. So this is going to be exciting.
Wonderful. Okay, Martina. Well, thank you. Are there other things that we need to wrap up, or just Katrina is the person coming with Mother Mary next week?
That's it, I think. And we will then share much more that we have. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. Take good care.
Everybody.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
See you next week. Bye-bye.